Parents Night In with Justin and Kelly's a show on YouTube that you should like and subscribe to. We watch movies and make some funnies and drink some booze, and we think you'll enjoy our antics. Click that notification bell so you'll be alerted when we post another video.
Happy Halloween Part 3, everybody.
Woo!
This is a new record. 3 Halloween-themed episodes in a single season.
Woo!
You know why we're allowed to do this?
Woo! Pandemic.
Pandemic has kept us home more.
Yes.
Our social lives are on hold indefinitely. Welcome to Parents Night In, here at Enougha.com. My name is Justin.
I'm Kelly.
And I write for Enougha.com. Tonight, we are watching yet another terrifying film known as The Exorcist.
Yikes.
One of the all-time legendary horror films.
Yep.
Is this another one that I showed you? Mm-hmm. I thought so.
I didn't watch any horror movies before you.
You big baby.
Red Dragon was about it.
Red Dragon, and that was the scariest thing you'd ever seen.
Well,
until you saw Ransom. How old was I when I saw this? I was probably like 14. I was about 14. And we rented it. It was one of those movies like Alien where you hear about it as a kid and how terrifying it is, and everyone talks about it's the scariest movie ever.
The story was there for me. I knew how scary it was.
So as a kid, you're
legend.
like, well, I'm not ever going to watch that. That's scary.
You were a weird sounding kid.
Hey, Mom, it's Saturday morning. I'm going to watch the Muppet Babies. Is that okay?
Your poor mom.
I'm going to get up early and watch Muppet Babies and Pee-wee's Playhouse and maybe some Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling.
So I believe the first time I watched this was in 2006.
Were you duly frightened?
Scared out of my boogers.
Scared out of your boogers.
My mom saw it and...
In the theater?
Yes, and had nightmares for ages after that, and couldn't be in the car alone, and made my dad check the back seat and stuff.
In case the devil possessed her?
I don't know.
So it was just like, hey, honey, let's go on a date. Oh, that's a weird date movie. This is one of those movies I wish I could go back in time and see it for the first time in the theater with an audience.
Yeah.
Because it must have just been appallingly revolting.
Oh no, there was a lot of
people
God,
fainting
people
and shit
freaked
and
out.
vomiting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And vomiting.
Yep. That's my kind of movie.
Yes, me too. Not. Yeah, there was a lot of screwed up things that were happening after this came out with people
who thought they were
boycotting and getting upset. Well, yeah, I'm sure there was probably some of that too. Yeah. This little bit of trivia on IMDb says that upon its initial theatrical release, the film affected many audiences so strongly that at many theaters, paramedics were called to treat people who fainted and others who went into hysterics.
I've never read the novel. I would like to.
Is it based on a novel?
Yeah. William Peter Blatty wrote it, and then he also produced the film. And then later he released the extended cut, which is actually inferior to the original theatrical version. And the director, William Friedkin, didn't want to extend the cut. He was like, I got it right the first time. Why are you adding scenes? But the spider walk scene where she walks down the stairs, that was cut from the theatrical release. These scenes look timeless to me.
Yeah, these do.
This
definitely.
Stuff could have been in a current movie.
I mean, I've seen this movie a number of times, and I always forget why this is here. Why is this in the movie?
Because this is where we were introduced to Father Merrin. And he first encounters this demon, Azazel. I think it's Azazel, right? But he finds a little idol of Azazel, and then later on, they show him on standing on a hill looking at a giant statue of this demon, and it's they're looking.
Oh, is that the one with the peen?
Does it have a peen?
I feel like it has a...
Probably.
A phew.
Those demons got good dicks.
Jeez, Justin. Come on. I don't even know why you had to go there, especially so early in the movie.
Kelly, it's a shocking movie.
Therefore, you're allowed to say ridiculous things.
Has to match.
I'm going to chop the heads off of multiple frogs.
Wow.
Well, I'm shocking people. I shocked you.
That seems way more objectionable than what I said. So Father Merrin has somehow felt the call.
Pazuzu,
sorry. Yeah, that's right. He's felt an evil presence elsewhere in the world, and he must go and deal with it. So he must leave his mission in Iraq. Linda Blair is fantastic in this film.
Did you know that she does not do the voice?
Yes, I did. That was Mercedes McCambridge, right?
Yeah, and for whatever
who's
reason...
a heavy smoker and drinker, I'm thinking, because her voice is super rough.
And she gargled egg whites and everything to make her voice sound awful.
Yeah,
So
pretty amazing.
Apparently, when Linda Blair was nominated, it was never...
It wasn't known?
It wasn't known that it was
they
Mercedes.
thought it was actually her voice?
And then by the time they realized it, she had already been nominated, and you can't take the nomination back. But there were a lot of people that felt like it wasn't fair for her to be nominated for another actress's work. But she was portraying it on screen. It's not like she didn't do anything.
Right, yeah. That's like when
valid.
Natalie Portman got shit because she didn't do all of her dancing in Black Swan. She still was there, like she still gave an acting performance.
Right.
That was Oscar-worthy.
Well, and Jennifer Beals didn't do all of her dancing for Flashdance.
Right. That's like saying Harrison Ford was no good in Raiders of the Lost Ark because he got a stunt double for some scenes. Oh my God, he's face to face with Pazuzu. Okay, motherfucker, the battle lines are drawn. Yeah. Me versus you and your dink.
Your dink. Yipes. We've now left the desert and we're in Washington, D.C. Georgetown, to be specific. Welcome to Georgetown, ladies and gentlemen.
I assume it's named after George Washington?
Probably. Be really weird if it was named after Abraham Lincoln.
They spelled Abraham wrong. I mean, pretty much butchered it. Abetown. Welcome to Abetown. We honestly want you to stay.
She's smoking in bed. Do you have any idea how dangerous that is, Ellen Burstyn?
It's very dangerous, Ellen Burstyn.
Jeez Louise, Ellen Burstyn.
Jesus Christ, Ellen Burstyn.
There are squirrels in the attic. Oh, no, wait. That's the devil.
Why do you suppose Pazuzu chose this house?
Probably because she's an immoral actress.
Because she's a liberal?
Yeah.
Who smokes grass?
She has dinner parties with weird Hollywood types. Jack Nicholson was up for the part of Father Karras.
Really?
Before Jason Miller landed the role.
I don't think Jack Nicholson would have been right for this role.
Nope. William Friedkin thought he was too unholy to ever play a priest.
He looks like Satan.
He looks like a demon.
Which he then played in The Witches of Eastwick. Mm-hmm. You haven't watched that, have you?
Nope.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, we should watch it.
The power of Christ compels you.
Whose dad is Jason Miller?
Jason Patrick. Reagan, let me explain something to you. When you vomit pea soup all over me, you're breaking my concentration. You're distracting me, and it will then take me time to get back to where I was during the exorcism. Oh, that hurt my head.
Well, you probably shouldn't method act in the living room.
I shouldn't.
Interesting that they were in Washington, in George Abetown, and Reagan is her name. I know it's different spelling.
And Reagan was not yet president.
There's a lot of things happening. Very meta. It's predictive. I don't know.
Predictive. It's like predictive text.
Predictive presidencies.
Predictive presidencies.
Can someone help us with that in 2020?
They're at Trump University protesting.
You want to hear the ridiculous shit that happened after this movie came out?
What?
It's not unlike 2020 in a lot of ways. Linda Blair got so many death threats from religious zealots who believed that she was glorifying, that believed the film glorified Satan. That
because they really make it look like it's fun to be possessed by a demon.
Yeah, Warner Brothers had bodyguards protecting her for 6 months after the film's release.
Christ. Why are people such fucking assholes?
If adjusted for inflation, this would be the highest grossing R-rated film of all time.
Yes, it's still adjusted. It's still in the top 10 overall, I believe.
And I think the shock factor probably, like for people who like horror movies, probably went back and saw it a ton.
Well, and it's like an A-list horror film, which was extremely rare back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare now.
Oh, it's, yeah, very rare.
70s, man, you could make a movie about anything.
What is it like? What are the more recent ones, like Get Out and Us and stuff like that?
Get Out is definitely A-list because it got nominated for a ton of awards. Like The Shining is A-list. The 70s were such an interesting time because the idea of the blockbuster that we think of now didn't exist yet until Jaws came out. Like really great genre movies could become giant hits and critical successes.
Yeah. So he's here checking on his mom, who, you know, is very old and...
His mom ain't got no teeth.
Yeah.
Hello, Tammy.
She doesn't speak very much English. That's a lot.
What?
So the mom was discovered by the director in a Greek restaurant. Her only acting experience was in some Greek stage dramas, and he selected her because she bore an uncanny resemblance to his own mom. Both Friedkin and Blatty said that she resembled their moms.
Maybe they're brothers. Maybe they're half brothers and they're from the same dad, and their dad has a type. Toothless old Greek women.
That is a very specific type. Oh my.
That's a niche. I wonder if Blatty's mom would be like, Blatty, why you do this to me, Blatty?
A filmgoer who saw the movie in 1974 during its original release fainted and broke his jaw on the seat in front of him. He then sued Warner Brothers and the filmmakers, claiming that the use of subliminal imagery in the film caused him to pass out. The studio settled out of court for an undisclosed sum.
Seriously? Mm-hmm. I hope it was $1 because that's fucking not... No, like...
No, I agree.
All Warner had to do was go into court and be like, okay, here's every frame of the movie. Show me the subliminal frames that you're talking about. You're full of shit. Fucking asshole.
What band released an album named after the demon's reply when Father Karras asked him, why can't you make the restraints disappear?
Oh, Pantera.
What is the name of the album?
Vulgar Display of Power.
Congratulations.
I'm good.
You've won a glass of Chardonnay.
Seems like a contradiction to have a priest also be a psychiatrist, because their whole existence is supposed to be based on the faith thing, but like a psychiatrist has to actually acknowledge the scientific aspect.
Yeah.
Just seems contradictory.
I think religion is full of contradiction.
That it is.
Linda Blair had it written into her contract that she would not wear any of the same demon makeup for Exorcist 2, The Heretic. What the hell is Exorcist 2, The Heretic?
You've never heard of Exorcist 2?
No!
There was a third and fourth
Exorcist 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Yep. The second one is supposed to be horrible. I've never seen it. The third one is actually supposed to be really good. And it stars George C. Scott.
You never watched it?
I have not. I should.
One of the other young actresses considered for the part of Reagan is the girl that played Violet Beauregard in Willy Wonka.
I couldn't tell you who that was.
The blueberry girl.
Oh. She looks like a blueberry.
Her parents pulled her out because they were like, this is way too troubling.
They were like, look, we already had her turn into a blueberry. We're not going to subject her to this too. Jesus Christ.
She'll never recover. She's a blueberry.
I draw the line at turning her into produce.
Yeah. What are you drinking, Justin? What were you drinking at the start of the movie, and what have you switched to now?
At the start of the movie, I was drinking the famous beer by Iron Maiden called, I think it's just called Trooper. And now we are sharing some Roederer Estate Sparkling White.
Wait, you drank a beer called Pooper?
Trooper, I said, you shit.
Pooper?
I'm going to drop trowel and take a Pazuzu on you.
Have you seen the third and fourth Exorcist?
You hear what I said? I just said I've never seen the third one.
Okay, well, there's a big twist.
There's a big twist. Okay, well, don't tell me because I would.
I'm not going to tell you because now I think you should watch it.
Oh my God! What did someone do to that statue?
Oh, that was a really big deal too.
I'm sure it was.
Huge problem for the Catholic Church because they defaced Mary.
Yeah, but like, then the characters are outraged about it. Like they're not doing it like it's a good thing that it happened.
No. I'm not saying they're outraged. They're not outraged that it was glorified that it happened. They were outraged that it was depicted. They were outraged that they did it because that means that they would have had to do it to put it in the movie.
For fuck's sake. Wonder if they hurt the statue's feelings.
If my mom was having a raging party, I definitely would not be asleep. Nope. I'd be upstairs bitterly jealous that I wasn't allowed to be at the party.
I'd either be at the party or I'd be up in my room playing. Wow, he's fucking hammered.
I can't believe they just let him go.
He does the thing where he's going to say something and then doesn't.
Nothing comes out. They really like hanging out with priests, these people.
The hell song is that?
I don't know. I know the melody.
Now on the east side of Toy?
Toy, I think they said. I don't know what toy is, but...
What did she mean, you're going to die up there?
What do you mean?
Who is she talking to and where are they going to die? You know what?
What?
She overheard him saying, my idea of heaven is I'm a headliner for all eternity and they love me. And then she comes down and she says, no, actually, you're going to die up there, meaning no one's going to like you. You're going to die.
Yeah, you're going to die up there on stage.
On stage.
You're going to sing a song and they're all going to go, boo!
You're going to bomb.
Yeah.
Father.
Poor
you
father.
Fucking hack.
Oh, jeez.
Screw you and your toity. You know what? I piss on your act. Wow. Literally.
Mm-hmm. Is that your pee noise? Remember when you were a kid, you used to make that noise?
Everyone's
I'm going to pee.
Sounds nothing like peeing.
No, it really doesn't. Although it does sound like the word piss a little bit.
It does sound like the word piss, yes. I piss in your general direction, except I can't really control it, so it's really just going on the rug. Sorry. That rug really tied the room together, Kelly.
Yeah.
This girl peed on it. Oh my God, what's happening? How is Pazuzu making the entire bed rock up and down?
I don't know. In either that scene or the other bed shaking scene, she suffered a little bit of a spine injury.
I think it's probably the one where she's like...
Maybe, yeah.
They got her going like a windshield wiper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how that would happen.
Yep.
How were they pulling her? Just like monofilament?
I don't know.
Who's that dog he was dreaming about? Why is his mom coming out of the subway in Brooklyn? Why can't he say anything? Why can't she say anything? Why is there a demon face?
Yeah, the demon face is freaky.
I love the demon face. It's fucking terrifying. It's like this sort of cheesy makeup and fake teeth, but it looks scary as shit. Mm. It's weird.
The doctor comes out of the room and immediately lights up.
Yeah.
Can't talk to this mom without a butt in my hand.
That seems like I can't believe that was ever allowed in a fucking medical place. Like, I know it wasn't out yet that cigarettes were harmful, but you're still inhaling smoke. Any doctor should know that.
Justin, the advertisers were telling them it was healthy.
But they're doctors.
Doctors choose camel. So do babies and cows.
So do cows? Cows who smoke.
Mm-hmm. Cows choose camel. Camels choose Parliament. I don't know.
I'm confused. Ironically, hippos choose Virginia Slim. Hello, I'm a hippopotamus. But I like the Virginia Slims, even though the Virginia Slims and I have nothing in common.
If I'm going to smoke a cigarette, I want it to be dainty, like me.
There's nothing physically wrong with Reagan.
That's the best brain he's ever seen. Ask anybody.
Why?
The doctors found him on the street and were like, that's a great brain. I like your brain.
Reagan has a very, very large brain. It's interesting. Pazuzu sounds a lot like possessed. Don't go out with that girl. She's Pazuzu, if you know what I mean. You know?
Yes.
It's like a fun way of saying possessed.
Uh-huh.
No?
They actually like refrigerated this room to get real...
I knew that.
Yeah, to get
breath.
real breath out of them.
Yep.
To this day, Linda Blair cannot stand being cold. She hates it. It was like, it just fucks with her and it makes her think of this.
Makes her think of the most traumatic experience of her childhood.
Yeah.
That's got to be weird to be famous for a movie that was the most harrowing thing you've ever been through.
Yeah. Which, when we go back to the whole idea of The Shining, it's amazing that they didn't screw up Danny Lloyd.
Yeah, Danny Lloyd was fine because they just, it's funny. So you're going to get thrown around the bed, but it's funny. It's a comedy. It's like the silly ghosts are playing dodgeball with your face. Jesus, bees, that was violent.
That was very violent.
Need to lick my butt! My only problem with this movie is this detective character.
Why?
I do not know why he's in this movie.
Wait, doesn't he connect Karis to the situation?
No. The doctors connect Karis to the situation because they tell her, go get an exorcist, and she goes to the whatever, the archdiocese, and they're like, okay, Karis is the closest thing we have to an exorcist, so she talks to him.
So what's the homicide doctor doing here now?
The homicide doctor?
The homicide detective.
That is a contradiction in terms. I don't want to go to that doctor.
Well, see, that's what I would like. If there was like a doctor serial killer, he'd be like, I'm a homicide doctor. That's what I do.
And I'm sure he was in the book too, but I don't know. He doesn't really serve any purpose in the story.
But what's he talking to Karis about right now? Why did he go search him out?
I think Burke's death.
But how does he connect Karis to Burke? No, it was the desecration in the church.
In the church. That's right.
Yeah, it's the Mary thing.
But yeah, like, there's no reason for him to be in the movie. Like, who gives a shit? No, he does talk about Burke. Mm. But then he has these weird things about, I got movie tickets. I'm going to mention a movie and then cast weird actors in the roles.
Huh?
Later on in this conversation, he's like, do you like movies? Want to come to see a movie with me? What's playing? And then he says a movie name, and then he was like, Groucho Marx says blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't understand what the point of these scenes is.
Let me see if I can look it up on Google.
Find out why...
I choked.
Lee J. Cobb, I think his name is.
That's a weird name. Who named him that?
His parents, I'm guessing.
His
If
mother.
I had to guess, I would say either his mother or his father.
I do think there's something.
And he's a good actor. Like, he was in 12 Angry Men, and he's great in that. Here, right here. Groucho Marx is Othello. He's like, oh, I'm going to go see Othello. You want to come with me? Like, why?
Well, and their response is, I've seen it. It's like, no, you probably haven't.
I don't understand the point of this scene. It doesn't make sense. Here's where they suggest that she get an exorcism. It's weird to have a priest who's a psychiatrist, but it's also weird to have doctors say, maybe you should get a priest to perform this ancient ritual, and that will fix her. What?
Captain Howdy from the Ouija board is a play on Howard, which is Reagan's father, and Chris's estranged husband's name.
Oh, they never say that in the movie.
They learn from a shot off the tabloid magazine at the beginning that Reagan's looking at, is that Howard walks out on Chris and daughter, that Mr. McNeil has just left them, and it logically follows that Reagan is devastated by this and is looking for a substitute father figure.
So Captain Howdy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the extended cut has another scene with him talking to the other priest, the piano-playing priest at the end, inviting him to go see a movie with him. And it's a terrible scene that makes no sense at the end of the movie. And I do not know why William Peter Blatty decided to put it back in, because there's no reason for it to be there. Like, it'd be one thing if he found something important that helped the priests with the exorcism, but, like, he doesn't offer any information about any of it. So, like, why is he here?
Yeah, I don't know. Found it! A running gag in this movie involves Kinderman asking several people, including Father Dyer, if they want to see some movie with him. But they tell him they've already seen the movie. This is somewhat continued in The Exorcist 3. It's revealed that Kinderman and Father Dyer have struck up a friendship and regularly go to watch It's a Wonderful Life together. The original movie ended with Kinderman and Dyer talking about Casablanca.
Right, that's what I was...
In the extended cut, they were talking about Wuthering Heights. I never questioned him as being here because he's sniffing around the death, and he kind of puts it together that she probably threw him out the window, or that he went out the window of her room, and he probably was not...
Sure, but
he was not gently leaving.
But it doesn't really add anything to the story, having him speculate and then not come to any real conclusion. Like, there's no payoff for him being there.
I don't agree. The first time
What's
I
the
watched it, I
payoff?
was like, oh shit, he's going to, like, arrest the girl, or there's going to be trouble.
But then he doesn't.
I know. But
So what's the payoff?
it helps...
What?
It helps sweeten the plot.
Eh?
It's like sweetening the pot, but...
It's like sweetening the pot, but you add an L.
Pretty much. You want to hear something real creepy?
What?
The guy who was the assistant in the first medical test that she had actually was a serial killer.
What?
He wasn't at the time he was in the movie, but he became a serial killer.
What was his name?
Paul Bateson.
What the fuck?
He was an X-ray technician at NYU Medical Center, where the scene was shot, and managed to get the small part. In '79, he was convicted of the murder of a film critic and was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Then he bragged about and was a suspect in the murders of 6 men who he picked up in gay bars, did things with them, and then murdered and dismembered their bodies and put them into plastic bags for fun in '77 and '78, and they were known as the bag murders.
What the fuck?
Although investigators believed his story, he was never officially charged, and the murders technically have never been solved. He was released from prison in 2004. Yoips.
What's he doing now?
I don't know. Let's look him up. Paul Bateson.
Google says he's outside our door right now.
That's not funny.
Here's one of the most fucked up scenes in the entire movie. There's shit flying around the room. She's stabbing herself with a cross. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's pretty violent.
This is the scene that, like, if they gave this an X rating, I could see why.
Yes.
Jeez.
He died on September 15th, 2012.
Thank Christ. Do you know what she did? Your canting daughter. Anyway, that's, for my money, the most fucked up scene in the movie.
Yeah.
She's stabbing herself between the legs with a cross and saying, "Let Jesus fuck you." And then she shoves her mom's face, and her mom gets blood all over her face. And then that's the first head spinning.
It's creepy.
That's crazy town.
It is crazy town.
Anyway, Chris is now talking to Father Karras about the exorcism thing, and he's like, "What?
He literally stopped dead in his tracks and was like, what?
You sound like a mental case." It's not the 1700s.
If this happened in the year 2020, this conversation would be happening over text, and then there would be he would send a GIF that just was the WUT. What?
What?
He'd go, what?
No, he would send the GIF of the guy just going.
I mean, you can't look at, it doesn't matter whether you believe that there is a need for an exorcism or not. When a mom comes to you like that, you got to go check it out and make sure everything's
Well, I know,
okay.
and it's another contradiction. It's like, so the doctors are saying, get an exorcism, and the priest is saying, that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a role reversal. We're not Reagan. So, like, yeah, it's not her voice, but she's still, like, the physical performance is pretty incredible, especially for a kid.
I'm guessing that Reagan did the acting and they piped the voice in later, which also
Well, yes, that's her
serves
face.
as an inspiration. Well, but I'm saying, like, it serves as an inspiration. She was saying the actual
Right,
words.
right. She was saying the lines.
The woman had to follow.
I'd actually be interested in seeing it without Mercedes' voice overdub, just to see
Mercedes' voice is fucking nightmarish.
Oh, it's horrific. But, like, I'd be interested in hearing what Linda Blair's version of the lines was.
She probably sounded like this. Get out of my room, please.
Do you know what she did? Your cunting daughter.
I sound like a Disney princess, even though I'm a nightmare.
Oh, God. She puked all over him.
Want to know something about that right there?
It's pea soup.
Well, yeah. And it is not Campbell's because they did not look. They did not like how
Jesus,
Campbell's
look at her
looked.
eyes in that shot.
Yep.
Horrifying.
But you want to know something else about that
What?
scene? He was not supposed to get shot in the face.
Mm.
It was supposed to hit his chest, and the plastic tubing broke.
Oh, so he's like,
And
gah!
so his reaction is completely genuine because that was not supposed to happen.
That's like an alien.
And he was kind of pissed about it.
Oh, yeah.
He got pea soup in his mouth.
It's like an Alien where Veronica Cartwright's reaction to the chest burster is totally legit because they were not expecting blood to shoot all over them.
Reagan hated vegetables so much, Linda Blair, that the pea soup actually made her vomit.
Oh, maybe that's why they cut for a second. They cut to someone else's face during the vomiting scene. It's not Linda Blair. It's Stan from South Park.
Blah! Ew! Catch me, Father Karras! Apparently, their pandemic special is supposed to be pretty good. South Park.
They had a pandemic special?
They put it on last night.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it
watch
came out
that.
this week.
Still on Comedy Central?
I don't know.
It's probably.
I don't know.
Where's it Aaron? Who's Aaron? I don't know. Where's it Aaron?
All right. Pause.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
It's a restroom break time. We're taking a break. We're going to different restrooms.
We're taking a break from demonic possession, 'cause we've got to piss. Hey!
We're gonna go to different restrooms and relieve our bladders quick.
Talk about pea soup. I'm gonna pea soup.
How's that Spencer Trappist treating you?
Oh, it smells amazing. I love Spencer Trappist.
That is a hell of a beer.
It is a hell of a
Spencer
beer.
Trappist. God damn.
Made by the monks.
You-
It's appropriate.
You monk sons of bitches.
It's appropriate to be drinking monk beer while watching priests
is.
save the world.
I should be drinking that myself.
Yeah, well, you already have a beer, so you have to finish that one first.
Oh!
Apparently, Miss Mercedes knew that alcohol was going to make her voice that much grittier and just wanted to drink more and more and more and more. So she was like a heavy drinker to
She
begin
must have
with.
been hungover as fuck.
Yeah. Is this the scene where he throws regular water on her and he's like, I don't know why she reacted the way that she did.
Yes,
It wasn't
he
even
says
holy water.
It was tap water.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think, I mean, a priest throwing any sort of water, wouldn't that kind of be blessed?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it was in his hand.
Right. They're playing the tape backwards, and now it makes sense.
She can speak backy words.
Yep. She can also speak pig Latin.
I would most definitely not bring a tape like that into my own home and listen to it in the dark at night.
Or ye other may uxe oxk ye elhe RSK.
Uh-huh.
What?
Why do you suppose? I guess maybe I wonder if I guess it is because
What?
I'm trying to get a thought together and it's not
It's
not
B, it's
working.
B, it's B, it's B. IB.
So I spent a majority of my early life in the 80s.
I spent a majority of my early life in the 80s.
Therefore,
That's a weird sentence.
listen to why I'm saying it.
Okay.
Therefore, I think when I watch movies that predate the 80s, I'm like, why are the colors so muted? But I think it's because I grew up with like neons and fluorescence and like super vivid colors.
Day-glow orange.
Yeah, and so I think the 50s sort of had its mid-century modern, like, you know, the light blues and the pastels and stuff like that. But then the 60s did more of the pastels, and they went into some of the mod colors and like the interesting color mixes, like the grassy green with pink and, you know, funky things like that with orange and whatever. But whenever I watch movies like this, I'm like, did they not know colors existed? I guess that rug's pretty colorful there, but it's like there's a lot of red and brown and cream
were
and
very
gold.
earthy.
Yeah.
We talked about this when we did Invasion of the Body Snatchers. There's a lot of browns and greens.
And The Godfather is like that too.
And The Godfather, yeah. I feel like 70s filmmaking is more timeless in that way because the colors are all very naturalistic, and the 80s were anything but naturalistic color-wise. It was all
I agree with that. The
bright!
80s, not only that, the hairstyles and the clothes of the 80s make it way too dated, whereas right now, there were a handful of movies that we've talked about in our PNI days where it's like if you'd only have to make very slight adjustments to make it look like it happened today.
Right.
With like haircuts and clothes and colors. But right now, I don't know, I think there's elements of several decades happening these days, I guess. But but the 80s and the 90s both have very specific looks to them.
Yes. Reagan's just throwing out swears like an expert.
Yeah, she's good.
You cocksucker.
The original teaser trailer was just nothing but images of the white-faced demon quickly flashing in and out of darkness. It was banned in many theaters because it was too frightening.
Really? It's just a face. Come on.
If you were in a movie theater in the complete and total dark and the screen was completely black and that happened multiple times,
but
you wouldn't poop in your pants hole?
But how do you ban that? There's nothing objectionable about it. Except,
Justin, this was the 70s.
Well, you know.
Life was different back then.
70s, it was a decade where you could get an R rating by showing an underage girl stabbing herself in her privates with a cross. Surely the trailer is not that objectionable.
Yeah. By the way, that horrible scene that you said was the most horrifying in the movie is apparently very toned down from the one in the novel.
Really?
Yep.
Jesus, I want to read the novel now.
Why?
Just out of curiosity. It's like American Psycho. Like, the American Psycho novel is one of the most fucked up things I've ever encountered in my life. It makes the movie look like a fucking Disney film. Oh, God, the entire bed's rising above the ground.
Gotta say, if I were Father Karras, I'd be like, see ya! And I would bolt. Goodbye.
He'd be like the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz, just jump out a window.
Yep.
Actually, he does jump out a window.
That is exactly what I would do.
The power of Christ compels you.
Was it from?
If Jack Nicholson had...
Oh, no. That's terrible.
If you don't come back down to the bed, I'm going to have to, kill you.
I don't like your Jack Nicholson.
Why?
It's creepy. It's creepy in a different way that actual Jack Nicholson is creepy.
Creepy how?
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't want my husband to sound like creepy Jack Nicholson.
Hey, Kelly, if you want to come down to the bed, you got to raise your hand, Chief.
That doesn't make sense.
What?
You know what? It looks like a lot. It's a lot to go through.
Looks like a hard day at work.
Yeah.
I deal with this, as an IT person. Sometimes I have computers that are clearly possessed.
You just compared your IT
And
job to this exorcism?
They throw me around the room, Kelly. And they say, Blue's creative death, you motherfucker.
I'm very...
What?
very concerned that you allow computers to throw you around the room.
I have a hard job.
It's just another sign that 2020 has gone too far.
There's more to this scene in the extended cut where they have a little conversation. I actually do like the extended scene of this, but...
Wait, do you not like the extended cut for other reasons?
Oh, I told you, the scene at the end, like the spider walk scene's kind of goofy and like it's fun, but it's out of place where they put it in the movie, and the scene at the end is awful, where the detective talks to Father Dyer after like the movie's ended already.
Yeah.
They just extended that last scene for no reason.
Right.
I'd like to do a compromise cut where you take the couple good things and add them.
The compromise cut.
Yeah.
That should become a whole nother. Mm-hmm. That should become a whole nother category of cuts.
Aliens would be another one. The extended cut of Aliens has a couple of good things that make the film better, and then some other stuff that make it not so much better.
I'm glad that our child has not been possessed by a devil.
I thought you were going to say, I'm glad our child has not seen this movie.
Well, that too. So this is parents' night in. We don't hire a babysitter for this. The kid's in bed and he's asleep.
We don't hire a babysitter. This is all us. This is like performing stunts without a stuntman.
Yeah, pretty much. Everything that you see and hear is real depictions of actual moments in the Blair household.
Yep.
So in the household,
wow,
we wait for the child to be asleep before we start these things because
it's the only way we can do it.
There's some unsavory language.
Unsavory.
To put it
Fuck, piss, cock, balls.
Jesus.
What?
To put it kindly. And so tonight, especially, I was like, we really need to make sure he's asleep because if for some reason he were to creep down the stairs and be like, Mom, I woke up by accident.
Mom, I can't sleep. Oh my God, I'll never sleep again.
Seriously, like this is the kind of movie where like, you can't unsee the things that happen here.
That's right.
I feel like The Shining, like he could get away with a lot. And it would be like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Well, yeah.
But like this movie.
Shining is a slow burn. Oh, I can't sleep. I can't. Oh my God! It's Lee J. Cobb. Look at his face.
Yes. Lee J. Cobb.
Why is he here?
Can I tell you something?
What? You shit yourself?
I want to get some gloves and put a bracelet over it.
What?
That's what she did.
Can I tell you something?
What?
I want to wear a ridiculous hat and drive a Mercedes.
Okay. I support your decision. See, this is the thing about me. I'm a supportive spouse.
See,
you're all judgy.
This is the thing. I'm a much better spouse than you are because I will support any stupid thing you do.
You want to wear a stupid face and have a dumb hat? Go ahead.
Stupid face? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
You want to wear a stupid face?
Want to wear a stupid face and a dumb hat? Go ahead.
You can make your face look like this for all I care.
Because I support you.
Good luck with your stupid face. And she gives him Father Karras' little St. Christopher's medal.
Yes.
So right here. So in the extended cut, he gives it back to her for no reason. And then the detective shows up and is like, oh, want to go to a movie? I'll see you.
Hey, do you want to go to a movie?
Hey, weirdo priest man. Want to go see a movie with actors that didn't do the movie? I got Jackie Gleason as Groucho Marx. What?
So in the other extended cut, he doesn't go look at the stairs?
Yeah, he does. But then Fuckface shows up and he's like, oh, hey, priest. I made friends with a different priest and offered to take him to a movie that doesn't exist, so now I'll do that for you. Want to go see a movie that doesn't exist? Sure. I've already seen that. Oh, but you haven't seen this one with weird casting choices.
Your recounting of this conversation is glorious, and I think it deserves a Medal of Freedom.
It deserves an Oscar.
Yeah.
A Medal of Freedom. Wow.
I don't know.
That is a high honor.
Did I ever tell you the story about Ellen?
Ellen who?
Well, I was cleaning, and I was like, what is that noise? And then Ellen burst in.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Woo!
What an asshole.
I'm hilarious.
Hilarious?
I know.
Anywho, what are your thoughts on The Exorcist?
It's scary.
It's a great psychological horror movie that is also very disturbing.
It's psychologically scary, but yes,
and
extremely
visceral.
Disturbing and in-your-face scary.
Yes.
This kind of horror film I can deal with.
It's almost like an exploitation film, except, again, it's like an A-list cast/crew. It's like an A production of a crappy B movie.
I didn't have high hopes for it when we watched it that first time. I was like, this is going to be a Nightmare on Elm Street type horror movie.
That was nothing like that.
I'm going to hate it. It's going to freak me out. And I'm going to be very mad at Justin for making me watch this. But I was not feeling like that by the end of it. I just kind of was like, okay, this is decently scary. And because it was slow in a lot of senses, like when they weren't in the room, a lot of the other things that were happening were very slow and controlled.
Yes.
That helped as well. I liked that about it.
Well, there's a lot of character building.
Yeah.
It's a movie that could have easily been trashy, exploitive shit, but it's not. It's an excellent film with a first-rate cast, great direction, great incredible makeup.
So you know what I want to know? How do you do that? Where you have a movie that could so easily cross the line into B-movie cheesiness.
B-movie cheesiness.
But it doesn't. It just manages to hit the right notes in every way. How do you do that?
You have really talented filmmakers working on it. That's all. Really,
That's all?
It's just, well,
I feel like everyone should be able to do that.
you have talented screenwriters. You have a talented director. You have a good cast.
There is a lot of horror out there.
Oh, yeah. You know why there's so much horror? Because they're cheap to make and they tend to make money.
Right.
If they're any good at all, they make money because it lends itself to style.
Yeah.
And you
Hey,
don't
what's
need a
that?
star.
Amy Adams?
It's a great scary movie that is also a great movie.
It's one of like 4 scary movies I'll watch, so that tells you something.
Only 4?
There's this, The Shining,
Silence of the
Silence
Lambs.
of the Lambs,
What's the 4th one?
Misery.
Misery. You hold up Misery very, very high company. Like, I like that movie,
I don't.
but I wouldn't call it one of the scariest movies ever.
I can't think of other scary movies because I don't watch that
Jesus.
many of them. Like, what other scary movies have I watched?
I don't know.
Ransom.
Ransom. Good night, everyone.
Goodbye. Woo.
Good night, Ghost Kelly.
Woo. Woo.
Wow. Are you possessed?
Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and follow us on Twitter, MeWe, and Facebook.